What's up, everybody? I'm going to my local bike shop here. I got to try on a helmet, get my size. I got a little bit of news I'm pretty stoked about. I don't know if I'm yelling at you here or not. I can't really hear myself because I'm rocking some Funk Dubious in my headphones. It's some good times music because I'm stoked. So yeah, I got some news today that kind of rock. I'm not going to go into it just yet, but some of you might be able to figure it out. I'm pretty stoked. More on that later. Oh shit. So yeah, I'm off work. I got off at 3 today, so I got a little time to kill. I got roller derby ref practice tonight. We've been told the refs have been told to stay after and be prepared to discuss some things, so I have a feeling some people are going to get yelled at. Probably there's a pretty strict no fraternizing rule between the refs and the girls, and it's, you know, they don't want refs, basically long and short, they don't want refs banging skaters, so that, you know, there could end up being some bias, maybe not giving some girl a penalty because you're banging her or something, which, you know, obviously I can see the reason for that. So, you know, I have a feeling that probably somebody or maybe a couple somebodies were getting a little too close in with the skaters. Not a problem for me because I'm married. I'm only really friends with one skater, and she's in a different league, so I can't see him complaining too much about that. But, so not much else new. I've seen a couple people have done videos where it's like, you guys post some questions and the vlogger answers them. So I don't know if anybody has any questions they want to ask me, but you know, I don't think I'm going to do a special video about it. But if anybody has any questions they want to ask, I usually just answer them in the replies to the video. But if anybody has any questions they want answered on a video, you know, go ahead and ask them, man. You know, just fire away. It doesn't have to be for a special video. Take your just say, hey, I have a question. Here's a question, and tell me you want me to answer it in a video, and I will. So Sunday should be pretty cool. I'm stoked. I got mixed emotions about this Sunday. I'm stoked because on one hand, I'm gonna get to meet some motovloggers from out of town, and I'm gonna get to meet some of the other motovloggers that are from my area that I haven't met yet. Gonna meet Motornosty, which is pretty cool because, you know, Motornosty is kind of a big deal. Watch now, you're gonna see that and be like, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm kind of a big deal. Holy shit! This truck up in front of me, I don't know if you can see the dust coming off it, but some of the dust from that truck has found its way into my helmet, past my face shield, past my tinted face shield, which I guess you can't really, I'm pointing at, made past this face shield, there's a tinted face shield in here, and then I'm wearing fucking glasses, and somehow dirt from this truck has made it into my eyes. That's my life in a nutshell. Against all odds, I get crap in my eyes. Yeah, this truck right here. That's weird, kind of a baby purple. Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. Oh, it's been a cool day though. Got a new RC airplane, my first remote control airplane ever. I have a little bit of time on a simulator, but I have zero experience with an RC plane. Now, before anybody gets all excited about, you know, like, oh, I have an RC plane, what kind of plane did you get? If you Google, it's an E-Flight Blade. It's called the Mini Vapor. It's this tiny little, it's literally like 7-8 inches across. It's like a carbon fiber frame with just like almost like a cellophane covering over the wings. It takes this tiny, and I mean it's smaller than a stick of Dentine 30 milliamp LiPo battery. But the cool thing is, because it's so small and light, it can fly around anywhere. I almost cut the chick off from, looks like she had a Domino's uniform on. Yeah, so I'll be excited to see. It's at home charging right now, and I'll be excited to see how well I can fly it. I'm predicting pretty bad, but it's really slow flyer, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll tell you, if any of you, I'm sure some of you out there have remote control helicopters. If you do, by the way, I'm you know, feel free to shoot me a message, be like, oh yeah, I got this helicopter or this RC car. You know, I work at a hobby shop, so obviously I'm interested and I like to talk about the stuff. Maybe one of these times I'll do a video of my fleet of RC vehicles. I got a local group. I haven't really gotten to get out and run with them for a while, but they call the Austin RC Bash. Look at that shit right there. He almost hit that other truck. Nice! Nice! Just cagers trying to kill each other everywhere. I guess I better stay back in case these guys start running. Look, watch this guy in his truck here is gonna get up. He's gonna fight to get next to his other truck so he can give him a hard look. No, nothing? I thought we were gonna see some good cager drama. But yeah, you know, if you're in RC, lately I've been more into RC helicopters than I have been the cars, and it's just because I spend most of my free time riding this bike. You know, I kind of knew that was going to be the case when I bought it, that all my other hobbies were gonna sort of go by the wayside. But you know what? I don't care, man, because this is ever since it's weird. Like ever since I was a little kid, I wanted a dirt bike. It was I didn't come from a rich family, but my grandmother owned a store. She sold sheepskins, which in the 70s was, and early 80s, sheepskins were like, you know, they were a big deal. People buy them and like line the seats of their trucks and cars and stuff with them. So, you know, my grandmother she wasn't rich, but she had a decent amount of money, and she spoiled me pretty hardcore. But for all the random crap they bought me, they would never buy me the one thing I wanted the worst. And I mean, this is some straight up white people problems. You know, it's like, oh, overprivileged white kid gets all his toys and then complains he doesn't get the one he wants. And I get that. I definitely do appreciate the fact that I grew up with a lot of toys. But there was only one toy that I really wanted, and that was a dirt bike, and nobody ever bought me a damn dirt bike. Seriously, they'd spend a stupid amount of money on me, but they wouldn't buy me a dirt bike that was cheaper than what they spent on me. It was frustrating as hell. I had all these friends that were like relatively broke, but their parents would buy them a dirt bike, but no other toys. I'd be like, I don't want any other toys. Take these other toys back and return them and give me the money and I'll go buy a dirt bike. But anyway, so my whole point there is that a dirt bike was a huge obsession for me, or pretty much from the time I knew what one was, so maybe like 5 years old, and it never went away. I didn't get my own actual dirt bike. I had an Enduro that I bought used cheap when I was like 15. But an Enduro, a 70s Enduro bike, it doesn't have much for suspension. It didn't really have knobby tires on it. So it pretty much sucked dick. I couldn't, if I went riding with my buddies that had four-wheelers and dirt bikes, I couldn't keep up. That didn't stop me from riding the shit out of that thing, but I didn't have a proper dirt bike until my 37th, yeah, my 39th birthday was when I went out and I bought myself a 2005 YZ250. Some of you have seen it whenever I do videos in my garage. That's the blue YZ. And you know? And, you know, Supermoto is basically a dirt bike. Man, this truck in front of me is making me want to eat fruit. Look at that thing. Look at that thing on the back of it. How good does that look? Some cantaloupe, and what else is in there? Cantaloupe, it looks like there's some blueberries. And I don't know what the little red berries are on the top. So there's cantaloupe, honeydew. I can't tell if those are strawberries or raspberries. All I know is that shit looks good. Man, I want that. Fuck, man. Sorry, I ADD'd out. Anyway, so, you know, I love my Mustang, but I was getting really tired of the fact that the gas mileage was just horrendous. That car gets 12 miles to the gallon around the city. And since 90% of my driving is around the city, since 90% of my driving is around the city, that meant I essentially get 12 miles to the gallon 100% of the time. It's a little better on the highway, but so I wanted something that got a little cheaper gas mileage, and I've always wanted a motorcycle. I grew up around motorcycles. My parents have had Harleys forever. You know, but now that I have this, I've been obsessing about a dirt bike I think I obsessed about dirt bikes for 34 years, basically, because I want to say it's probably about 5 years old when I started obsessing about it. So I've been obsessing about dirt bikes for 34 years. So let me ask you, if I have some free time, why would I do anything except ride a dirt bike? You know? So, yeah, this is what I do, man. I love this bike. And I'll tell you what, I spent a lot of money, and I've talked about this in other videos. I've spent a lot of money. I've probably spent, between all the cars that I customized, I'm talking going way back to when I did like stupid Ricer shit, you know, when I was broke. Between all the cars, I probably spent $150, maybe $175,000 customizing cars over my lifetime. And it's like, I regret every penny I spent on cars. Every single penny. If you took my Mustang away from me right now and gave me the money to buy it back, I would take that money, I would buy a ratty pickup truck, like that white one right there would be perfect. I'd buy a ratty ass pickup truck that was reliable and preferably ugly, 8-foot bed, maybe a king cab so I can put some people in the back if I had to. But I would buy a truck that was ratty enough that if I left it outside and it got hailed on, I wouldn't give a fuck. You know, because I don't know, if I roll past someplace that's all glass in my Mustang, I look over, I'm like, damn, this is a nice car. But I don't care about cars anymore. You know, and that happens when you buy a bike. You know, you're like, oh, I'm going to put all this money in a car to make it fast. And my Mustang is probably about 410, 415 at the crank. And my DRZ would demolish my Mustang 0 to 60. There'd be no contest. It would mop the floor with my Mustang. You know? And it's a Supermoto. Supermotos aren't fast bikes. I mean, they're fast at the lower end, yeah. You know, so imagine, you know, even a 600 sport bike. Like Jake talked about in one of his videos how, you know, a 600cc sport bike will take out all but the absolute hairiest cars. You know, I watched a video of a 900 wheel horsepower GTR, which, by the way, is a Texas car. It's Joe Tex GTR. Racing, I think it was a ZX-10. It might have been a ZX-14 on the highway. And this is a 900 horsepower car racing a stock leader bike. It might have been a ZX-14, but in any case, it was a driver's race. You know, 900 horsepower. That's probably a $250,000, $300,000 car racing a bike that you could pick up used for under 10 grand. You know, once you get a bike, you're just like, you realize how dumb it was to spend money trying to be fast in a car. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to take too much away from it. I mean, if that's what you're into, that's cool. I just think that if most people that want to be fast in a car rode a motorcycle, they would stop trying to be fast in a car. Anyway, I'm about to go in here and try on a helmet, get my size. So I'll talk to you guys later.